making a musical, should I write the scene out first and then do the song, or should I write the song and put it where the scene should be and then write the scene? I have 2 stories about this that I think will help, but here's also what I'll say about the idea of should. I don't like should. I don't want you guys to treat your creative process like a to-do list. There is no absolute should here. My hope is that I give you ideas on what to try so you can anticipate what your mind needs to be successful ahead of time, and so also you can nourish your own creativity. But this is a very similar kind of conversation as like, should I plot my story first or should I just write? And I'm like, man, people be saying things so definitively, like I think it depends. Okay, so story 1. When I was writing Odyne's villain song, I knew that the argument of the song from Odyne was convincing Soliana that she is her only hope. And I knew that Odyne was gonna have this energy of, well, it's simple, let's kill him. And that's why the song starts with, "Protest, princess, but I ask you this." You could say that the scene was in my heart and I was inspired enough to just work on the song. So I did the song first and then I went back to the scene later. I edited the song, I edited the scene, etc., etc. So in terms of how most of the work happened, you can say that that was song first, then scene. But the idea started it all, right? Story 2. A friend asked me to work with him on a Ruby fan song for the villain Tyrion in a musical theater style. And I had an idea for like that thesis of the song. I wanted to use the "it's in my nature" thing from the Fable since Tyrion is based off of that scorpion. But I had to sit down with Neelic and be like, okay, well I can't like just write a musical number though, like that's not really how it works. The songs need to serve the narrative. So what were you thinking in terms of the narrative here? Like why is Tyrion singing? So I explained all that to him and that for me, I couldn't really start working until we decided like what kind of villain song is this, right? Is it gathering the minions? Is it a kind of Hellfire situation where he's talking to himself? Is he singing to Salem? Like who Tyrion is speaking to is very, very important. So in that case, we hammered out the scene first. We basically decided that this would be in a volume 10 timeline scenario with Mercury betraying Salem, and he has just led Tyrion into a trap. There's been some fighting. Somebody makes a snarky remark like, "Are you crazy? Salem is just using you. She's gonna kill everybody." And that is what I needed to figure out how the song would start, because that influences the very first thing that Tyrion is gonna say, which as of right now has this like, "Oh, you couldn't be more wrong" type of vibe to it. Like, in order for the verse to start that way, someone would need to say something that he thinks is wrong, right? And so from there, the arc of the song became clear. There's no big tragic backstory. It's simply in my nature. And then it pivots to Mercury. You were born an assassin's son. It's in your nature. You can never change. Repent now and embrace Salem as she embraced you and who you truly are. Don't change for them or like whatever, right? And then there's a third thing that's like a secret for now. I can't tell you guys about it, but I couldn't start on the verses until I figured out that information, especially because verses tend to be a bit more expositional. So I had an idea for like the emotion of the course and the thesis of the course, but I was stuck until we figured that out. This is a random example, but imagine trying to write for the first time in forever from Frozen, and as a songwriter not knowing that it's Coronation Day. Like that influences everything that Anna is singing about, right? So all of this to say, do I think to some extent the context needs to exist in your heart or you will run into problems? Probably. Yeah, but should you write the entire scene out first? Should you write the entire song out first? I think that you should do whatever you want. And as always, let me know if you have any more questions, guys.